Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn. We're going to talk with character actor Robert Trebor. He was featured in the cult hit series Hercules and also Xena Warrior Princess. My son, my wife, and I, and our daughter all watched you.
Oh, great.
Religiously. We really did. And I missed seeing David Berkowitz, a.k.a. the son of Sam.
That's not on my website, actually, a little clip of it. Yes, my website is it's Robert Trebor, ROBERT, that's D as in boy. My name is reversible. It is a palindrome. RobertTrebor.net, and you can see clips of the Hercules show. You can see the whole episode of Hercules.
Oh,
and
my.
A clip of me as the son of Sam as well, yeah.
But we're not going to talk about acting now, are we? We're going to talk about writing. We're going to talk about the haircut who would be king. Now, let's think about this, Daryl, because you don't know, all right?
I don't know what.
You don't know. Well, you don't know a lot of things. But,
thank you.
But you don't know who.
Remind me to use you as a reference the next time if you need anything. Oh, he doesn't know anything about anything.
What political figure would you say needs to have his hair worked on desperately?
Well, the current administration, I believe.
I would think so.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Mr. Trump, really, Robert?
Because I'm really covert in the book. Yes. Well, he really is kind of like a 9-year-old black who is pretending to be president. And his comb over, I mean, I don't know if you saw that picture where the wind from the back as he goes up the plank to the plane. And he really is, how can I put this discreetly, bald, essentially. And the comb over kind of like covers a lot of stuff. But especially now, and I think, hasn't he actually called himself a king? Now that he's been exonerated and he's still in office after impeachment, he really is kind of King Donald. So my book, I think, was somewhat prophetic.
I think you're right. And in the book, there's the story of Donald D. Rump.
Yes.
And it's very, very funny. But you have also concentrated in your acting career and now in your debut novel in humor. And
primarily, yeah.
Primarily.
It's one of those things where, except for playing the son of Sam, which is ironic because I've done a lot. I've done some Woody Allen films by that point, and I did a lot of off-Broadway comedy. And, well, at the time I was cast in 1985, this is, again, I want to talk about the book, but I looked a lot like him, like his double, like Berkowitz's double.
Oh, boy.
And then I did a lot of research, and I loved working with Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen plays the detective who captures him. And again, you can catch a clip of that on my website. But it was a combination of playing both the son of Sam, which was not funny at all,
no,
and playing a kind of a psychopath, and playing a salesman that gave me an insight and inspiration into our current president, because I think he is half of both. And I know this is a conservative station, so it's going to be a little weird for your listeners. But I think, and being able to be humorous, because look, the guy is in office, and some people support him, I know, but he makes a lot of people nauseous. He makes a lot of people sick to their stomach. And as one of the reviewers said, read my book, and you can throw away your antidepressants. You can throw away your antacids. You can laugh yourself to mental health during this administration.
I'm really curious. Do you think that having a sense of humor, and especially about oneself, as in poking fun at Donald,
yes,
do you think that's healthy? I mean,
it's not just healthy, it's necessary. I don't think it's absolutely healthy, but it's absolutely critical to one's mental health, to one's physical health, to one's way of looking at the world. And that doesn't just mean laughing at everything like, oh, it trivializes it. No. I think laughter, the best laughter. Do you remember the film Dr. Strangelove?
Oh, sure.
That was one of the funniest films ever made, but it didn't trivialize nuclear destruction. It didn't make people think less of, oh, well, if the bomb goes off, I'm going to be okay. No, it made you laugh at something that was critically serious, but laughter can help illuminate ways of handling a problem. It doesn't trivialize it. I've been asked sometimes, is there a danger laughing off Donald Trump? You bet. We must not laugh him off. We must not normalize him, but laughing at him, ridiculing him, brings out his weaknesses, and I think actually, can help with the election. It's important, it's critical to have, and also a sense of self-humor. I can, here I am in my bathrobe, and I just woke up, and I'm about 20 pounds overweight myself, and I'm doing, but we all have to take ourselves lightly and be aware of the humor in the world situation. Absolutely.
One of the things that in Dr. Strangelove, when I can't think of the actor's name, when he's the general, he played a lot of cowboy.
Sterling Hayden.
No, it wasn't Sterling Hayden. He was the guy who jumped on the bomb.
Yeah.
Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens. When I remember seeing the film and thinking, this is a statement that we have to get up and take a look at this and not use nuclear energy and power.
Right.
Right?
Right. No, he was so gung-ho. He was a gung-ho guy. Now, I don't know, just parenthetically, did you know that originally Peter Sellers was supposed to play that part as well?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was going to play 4 parts in the movie, and it got to be too crazy with the schedule. But originally Stanley Kubrick wanted Peter Sellers to play that part. But Slim Pickens was great. I mean, he was on his Texas and said, "Okay, boys, we're going toe-to-toe with the Rooskies now." Yeah, I remember that. In fact, I call my book, in my own description, House of Cards, wrapped in Monty Python, because there's a lot of Monty Python burlesque, on the way to Dr. Strangelove. And we won't give away the end of the book, the spoiler, but one of the reviewers said, this book ends with fireworks that the reader can't even dream of. So I'm proud of that as well.
It really is funny. What made you sit down and do this? Do you consider yourself a political animal, or are you just, to quote another film from the 80s, you're just not going to take it anymore?
Combination of both. And by the way, bring up stuff, man. I hope we have a little more time. My very first role in film was as an extra on the building in the film network in New York, and I was one of the crowd screaming, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it." If you watch network, I think it's like minute 52 and a half. I'm on for like 10 seconds with my then girlfriend shaking my fist at the window, and I'm one of the people screaming, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore." That made me surprising to some people, including my publicist, but that's true when you bring that up. So yes, I am mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And I also am a political animal in that we all have to have a voice. Where it's a democracy still. So far, royalty notwithstanding, the monarchy notwithstanding, we all have to have a voice. We all have to make ourselves known. And frankly, once Trump was elected, along with 66 million other people, I was shocked. My jaw dropped. And for the next several days, I felt kind of sick to my stomach. Like, what are we in for now? So, to jolly myself out of that feeling, I started writing. And I started writing some sequences. I started writing some caricatures about Trump, about Steve Bannon, about Putin, about all that. And then I showed it to my wife, and she said, this might be good for other people, too. So I wrote the book to make myself feel better, and then hopefully when people read it, it'll make them feel better as well.
Why do you think we need to have humor in our lives when there are such catastrophic things happening around us? I mean, people laugh when somebody says, "By the way, I have cancer," or "I was in a terrible car accident," or Joe's in a coma.
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
It is a kind of human defense mechanism. And again, it's not to trivialize it, not to ignore the need to handle the cancer or handle a person in the coma. It doesn't say, "Oh, let's laugh at it and walk away." No, I think it's part of nature's sense of balance and mental health. And it's, again, funny you bring this up, but I was diagnosed with acute leukemia 8 years ago. I'm in total remission now. I've been cured, but as soon as I found out about it and went into the hospital, also because it was in the cancer ward at Kaiser and people were really, really in really bad shape.
Thank you, SAG benefits. Okay.
Right?
Yes,
sir.
Robert, we're out of time, but I'm going to invite you to come back,
Yes,
and we'll do something else. Hold on a second. The book is called The Haircut Who Would Be King, and you got to look it up, folks. It's on Amazon, and that's the best place, I think, to get it, Amazon. All right, check us out at facebook.com/late night health radio or latenighthealth.com. We continue and wrap up our program with Robert Clancy as we continue. Don't go away. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything, from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Late Night Health continues with our regular contributor, Robert Clancy. You can find out more about him at guidetothesoul.com. He's written a book called The Messenger, and looks like that's going to be a movie. We've talked about that in the past. We'll have more information on that in coming weeks. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're going to talk with Robert today about finding hope. Robert, you have an inspirational thought for us to begin?
Yes. Hope is not just a glimmer of light in the darkness. It's the light that shows you how to defeat it and defeating the darkness. And the reason I brought this up is I posted this on my page, and somebody wrote, "Yes, but how?" And I love the response because somebody actually, I didn't have to reply, somebody else did. And it just says, know that God always has a plan. And no matter what circumstances, it's about not giving up. And you got to walk away from the past and move forward. And it's really about that. And whenever you're stuck in the darkness, it's the darkness only inspires light to be that much brighter. So when you're in that period, hope is something that only exists if you believe in it and hold it in that space that it's there for you.
A friend of mine called me last night, and we were talking about careers and where they wanted to be and that they're not where they wanted to be. And a family member had called them and said, you're really a failure. You've been doing this. It's more of a hobby. First of all, that's negative and so I'm not even sure what the word is. That was devastating for me to hear from my friend. And they're a writer and speaker. And while they've been successful in the past, currently they're in a little bit of a struggle. And to hear that from a family member is really difficult. And I said to them, not knowing what we were talking about, that there's always a chance. There's always hope. You can't give up. I remember when I told my parents that I was going to go into broadcasting. And they said, well, maybe you should major in business instead or psychology. And and have a backup plan. I've never had one. So, am I right? Persevere. Don't give up.
Yeah, it's your passion. Yeah, that's what you want to do. So as long as you're happy doing it, it doesn't matter about all the other stuff. That's their journey, and it really has nothing to do with. It's their perception of how they would be going down that road, and that's fine. That's their own story. That's not your story. And there are people that have given up everything to do something that they love, and they're happy doing it. And that's really the key, is letting go of that perception of whatever success and failure is an individual case. It's not just yours. Some people find, if I'm a billionaire, I'm successful. Another person might say, if I give away $1 billion, I'm successful. Who's right? Both.
But you hit the nail on the head. Most people today think of success in terms of money.
Right.
Right?
And there's a difference. Correct. There's a different kind of success that is individual for each person. And when you can go beyond that, money is energy. Money helps you pay bills. Money gives you a lifestyle and a comfort of living. Definitely.
It gives you food.
Well, those things. But is it beyond that? I mean, you could still grow your own food. You don't need money to do that. So it depends on how your perception and your perspective of what you're doing. There's people that are highly successful running an organic farm that's self-sustainable. Are they successful? Sure. Are they paying with money to buy their food? No. They're growing their own. And then they're using the seeds and recycling and doing other things, and somehow they make it all work. And that works for them, and they work hard at it. Just like you would work hard at making $1 billion.
Well, exactly, and this is a person who's in a creative field and has had a modicum of success. She won awards, but she doesn't have the financial strain, the financial gain that she would like. And at the same time, I was thinking of our book, my book, Growing Old Sucks, but It Doesn't Have To, is coming out. And I did an interview with a man who's 92, who works over 40 hours a week, drives day or night, is one of the most energetic people I've ever met, and wanted to be an actor all of his life and a director. And at the age of 30, he was watching somebody who was considered successful from the school he went to. And he noticed that his clothes were threadbare and that the guy lived in what was then called a cold water flat in New York. And he seemed to be happy, almost. He was pursuing his craft, but he still wasn't making a living at it. I mean, I think it's 90% of all people in the Screen Actors AFTRA union don't make any money or make very little. My point about that is that having hope, finding hope, it's got to include that financial part, doesn't it? Or am I off?
It doesn't. It depends on, like I said, the money is independent of the success. The success itself is what success is. And that's how you frame it, whatever you're part of, however you get there.
Well, having hope, I would think, I hope I don't get cancer. I hope I don't get killed in a car accident. That's kind of hope. But having a happy life, having a passionate life, having a successful life. That's all important in our 21st century American culture. And at the center of that is the fact that you want to be able to afford to send your kids to school. You want to be able to have food on the table. Most people don't live in a farming community, even though Daryl lives on a semi-farm. His avocados are outstanding. His lemons are great. I can't wait for apple season because it's the best 2 apples I've ever eaten in my entire life. They were really good. And there was some other kind of fruit you gave me that I've never had before. I don't even remember.
Cherimoya.
That's it, cherimoya. But most people don't live on a large piece of land where they can grow things like that. I stumped him.
Well, it depends. It depends on the situation. Like I said, somebody did get that piece of land and worked toward getting that to then create that. It's all part of the process. All of that energy goes into what you need. So when you apply yourself and you set your GPS point where you're going, how you get there is your journey. And that's your journey, and that GPS point, when you reach it, is your success point. And that's how you frame it up. It's whatever you want to do. So if you're doing your job and you're reaching the people that you want and you're doing this because you want to spread the word of health and those things, then that's your success. That's your journey.
I watch a lot of these Alaska shows on TV, A&E and all of that. And, to me, watching it's absolutely horrible circumstances. It's, bad weather and cold and nasty, and none of the modern, circumstances apply. But these guys wouldn't trade it in for anything in the world, So it all depends on
the fishing.
Not the fish, just the fishing, but the people that are living there in Alaska away from everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Away
and
from,
want that.
And they want that.
They like the challenge. Yeah, exactly.
And that's their hope. They found it. I think it's interesting to me because everybody does have a different definition of success. At the end of A Wonderful Life, they toast to the richest man in town, Bailey, and
George
Bailey, and he's the richest man because he has so many friends. And I think that's one way of talking about success. Robert, as always, thank you for joining us. You can find out more about Robert at guidetothesoul.com, guidetothesoul.com. Well, that wraps up this edition of Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Join us at latenighthealth.com and at twitter.com/latenighthealth. Have a great week, everybody. Have a good week, and most importantly, have a healthy one. Bye-bye for now.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audiobook. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, DARRELL WAYNE.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?